Okay, so here's the third of these figures, and this is NECA's King Features Superheroes, where King features the original superheroes, the Phantom. Ooh, nice piece of artwork there down at the bottom. I already read the credits on Flash Gordon, so they should be the same. I'm gonna go ahead and read the bio real quick. The myth of the ghost who walks began in 1536 when the father of British sailor Christopher Walker was killed during a pirate attack. Swearing an oath on the skull of his father's murderer to fight evil, Christopher became the Phantom, a legacy which would continue throughout the centuries, passing from father to son. Kit Walker, the 21st Phantom, lives in the Skull Cave with his wife Diana Palmer, and two loyal animal companions, Wolf Devil and Horse Hero, and Guran, his best friend since boyhood. This figure is largely based on the Phantom interpretations by legendary comic artist Cy Berry. And you can, when we see the face, we'll see it's very close to how he drew that character. The original superheroes is a line of figures in NECA's loving tribute to giants of comic books and pop culture. Includes the Oath Skull, the Whip, two handguns, glow-in-the-dark eyes, that's cool, two short muzzle flashes, and interchangeable hands. So let's go ahead and open them up. We've seen, like, all this stuff on the other figures. So I do want to point out that it does have cross-sell of the other two characters in the line, and Defenders of the Earth at the bottom. And I don't believe that Lothar or Mandrake have been released yet. So hopefully soon, because I would like to have those guys. Hell, I'd like to have all the Defenders figures, because like I said, I haven't found any of them yet. So we'll go ahead and open them up. Maybe at the end, if I have time, I'll read the bios of the other characters that I forgot to read. But this is the one I was most excited about. See, I was wearing this shirt because this was a gift from my friend Chuck Porterfield. Let's see if I can get it all. It's got Dark Side on it. It's pretty cool. And I thought it was serendipitous that I got these figures at the same time. The packages arrived at the same time that this shirt did. Because when the movie of the Phantom came out, Chuck's one of my oldest friends. And we were both really excited to go see that movie. There's the Whip, which is on a wire. That's kind of cool. We were both really excited to go see that movie. And so I kind of associate the character of the Phantom with him in a lot of ways. So anytime I think about the Phantom, I think about my friend Chuck. And anytime I think about my friend Chuck, I think about the Phantom. So there's one of the Pew Pews. We'll set that aside for now. And then there's another one. I wonder if they're the exact same. Because that would make sense, just to mold the same exact one twice. But they might be different. I don't know. And then we got the 45s up here. Wouldn't it be cool if they did the Shadow? Like, do some of their characters outside of just the King Features characters. Like, they could do, like, the Shadow or Doc Savage or something like that. I was just thinking, because, like, the Shadow would have similar guns. Not identical to these, because these have, like, little skulls actually sculpted and painted into the pistol grip there, which I think is really super cool. Real quick. It's annoying me. So, yeah, those are nice big guns. Why do these things keep opening up? I'm trying to shoot a video. If I wanted to do that, I wouldn't be doing that while I'm trying to shoot a video. Okay, so then we got more hands. And these hands have the rings sculpted into them. Put that back. I don't think I need that name. Not for now. Very nicely done. So there should be on one hand a skull ring, and on the other hand a ring with like a P symbol, and that's supposed to represent the protection of the Phantom. He'll put that mark on his friends. Yep, sure enough, It's really tiny, but you can make it out. It's like like four P's kind of connected together at the middle, and then the other ring is a skull ring, which that's the more famous one because that's the one that, like, you know, he'll punch the bad guys with his skull ring and leave his mark. And let me. This one's got like 15 tabs here. Like, there's like a ridiculous amount of these rubber tabs. There's at least 3 of them. I'm not kidding. So, but at least the twist tie is not twisted back around itself. It's just, you know, one twist instead of let's twist it and then twist it again. Hopefully it didn't mar up the plastic or anything too much. So let's go ahead and pop the Phantom out of there. And, oh man, that is a nice looking figure. So, like I said, I never got the Defenders of the Earth Phantom, which I really wanted. But this one's better because not only does he have all these cool accessories, but he's got the stripy shorts like he had in the comic strip. Like, the main problem, I think, with the Defenders of the Earth Phantom figure is that he only had one gun, and it was a laser gun because, you know, it was Defenders of the Earth. But I still would have liked for him to have 2 guns, because that just seems to me like a classic sort of Phantom thing, is that he'd have 2 guns. But, you know, the original Defenders of the Earth figure only came with 1 gun, so I guess that's why they did that. So the belt's really nice. Got a nice detailed buckle with the Phantom emblem and the stripy triangle behind it. And he's even got little skulls sculpted into the holsters on the sides. That's pretty cool. Let's see how well the holsters hold the guns. That's something I always care about. And they do fit in there nice and snugly, but I don't think I will struggle to get them out. Articulation is the same articulation scheme as Flash Gordon and Ming. Obviously, these characters share a lot of parts, so that's no surprise. And none of them seem particularly stiff or gummy so far. Yep, got double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, the whole spiel. So you'll be able to put the Phantom into a lot of cool action poses. He comes with the skull. This will be the skull of his, you know, the original Phantom's father's killer. So all the Phantoms swear an oath on this skull. The jaw is articulated, so that's pretty cool. And it does have a peg hole at the bottom, so if you want to, if you have a head that's compatible, and I believe we should be able to do it with this one. But man, that head's on there good. Let's instead do Flash Gordon, since I know I can get his head off easily, because I've swapped that head out before. I can heat the Phantom up later, and that's fine. So you can, man, that's a tight fit. In theory, you'd be able to pop this head on here, but again, it's being a little stiff, so I don't want to bother with heating it up right now. But it does actually have a peg hole in there, so you can swap the heads out and put Flash's head back on. Okay, there we go. But yeah, the fist hands are pretty cool on this one. You know, like I said, I don't mind fist hands so much, but I prefer to have gripping hands anyway. So we're going to go ahead and swap his hands out, because I want him to hold his guns. It's always nice to have extra hands, so that you can have different display options. I like that. But honestly, I mainly do just leave the gripping hands in there. That's mostly what I do. So he's got 2 hands with triggers. He's got 2 fist hands. He's got 1 hand, and this is the right hand. This is made to hold the whip. And then he's got 1 more right hand, and this is made to hold the skull. So, but I definitely want to put the guns in his hands and see how that looks. So we're gonna put those trigger hands in first. And I think that looks pretty cool. You'll get to see it in a second once I get the other gun in there. It's not too much of a struggle to get these guns in here, but it does hold it rather tightly. So, looks pretty cool holding the guns. About like what you want the Phantom to be. Isn't that sweet? So, get him in all kinds of cool action poses. You better listen to your friend Billy Zane. No one refuses the Phantom. So, pew, pew. Let's put the pew-pews in there and see what they look like. So, again, these kind of fit over the muzzle of the gun. I'm not sure if there's a specific way they need to fit, because it is rectangular. It looks like the gun sight's on one side. So we'll try to get it on there right. I would at least like to get one of these on here so we can see what it looks like. There we go. So that's pretty neat. And it fits over like the whole front of the gun. So it should stay on there pretty well. And these holsters, they don't attach to his legs. They just kind of dangle there. So, alright. So now that we've seen that, I'm going to go ahead and put the guns back in its holsters. And like I said, they do seem to fit in there fairly snugly, but you don't have to struggle to get them out. It's like just that right amount of tension that should hold them in. And we don't have to worry about them falling out, but at the same time, you don't have to, work too hard at pulling them out of his hands. So, this happened with Flash Gordon on both legs, and I noticed that it happened with him on one, and that's that, this shin is actually facing the wrong way. but that's okay, we can just turn it around. So you want the shin to be in the front, obviously, the shin bone there, and then we kind of turn his boot back around, turn his foot back around the other way. So there we go. Now we got the Phantom's boots both facing the right way. I noticed that with Flash Gordon after I made the video, and I'm like, oops. I'm sure nobody, noticed, and if they did notice, they didn't care. Let's go ahead and pull this hand out, because I want to go ahead and pose him with the whip now. So I'm going to put this gripping hand in there, the one that's made to hold the whip. And the whip is pretty cool. It's got a skull sculpted into the handle. Very nice. And then this little loop down here. Nice little detail. Got a little bit of silver paint on the pommel. So that's nice. So let's go ahead and fit the whip into his hand. And voila, that's what he looks like holding the whip. Let's see if we can get him in kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of pose. He's about to whip into something. And like I said, this is a wire, so you can get all kinds of crazy poses out of the whip itself. So that's kind of cool. Pose that however you want to. Can you see that? I don't know if the background's too crazy to cover it up. But yeah, the whip's nice. Like, I kind of forget about the Phantom having a whip. I mainly just think of him as being like a gun guy. But it's cool that they have that. Especially for, posing him however. A sword would have been nice. I don't think it's like as necessary as it would have been with Flash Gordon, but it would have been cool to give him like a cutlass or something. Maybe later on, if they do like some of the earlier Phantoms, they can do ones with like, a blunderbuss or, flintlock pistols and pirate swords and things like that, and just go all out, go all crazy with the Phantom and do different versions of him from different eras. So, this is a really awesome figure, and I really like it. They did a great job with him. I saved the Phantom for last because, like I said, I had those Flash Gordon figures in the vintage card, so I already had Flash, and I already had Ming, and I already basically reviewed those, and even though the Flash video ran kind of long, and I kind of tried to rush through the Ming video because You know, like, I was trying to hopefully do the Phantom that day, but I didn't get around to it. I had to wait till the next day to do it. But I don't have an action figure of the Phantom at all. And other than years ago when I made a Mego figure of the Phantom, like, I've never had a figure of the Phantom. Like, I remember around the time the movie came out, they put out some figures, but they were awful. Like, his head looked like a peanut M&M. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with those, but this one is just perfect. Like, look at that head sculpt. He looks just like in the comic strip, but like a more sort of like real life version of it. Like, if the guy in the comic strip existed for real, this is what he would look like. And that his eyes are going to glow in the dark. That's so cool. I love that. He's got just like a little bit of stubble on his chin, if you can make that out. They just gave it just like a little bit of airbrush spray to give him like some stubble on his chin, and that's really cool. And like I said, he looks like the Phantom as you think of him in the comic strip, like, especially like when Cy Berry took over the artwork, because he drew him with like a really distinct face. He's got this square jaw and the high cheekbones and this kind of hawk-like nose. As much as I like Billy Zane as the Phantom, he looks a little bit more like Liam Neeson. Maybe if they wanted a guy who looked like the comic strip, they should have got Liam Neeson. But I'm not complaining about Billy Zane. I like Billy Zane as the Phantom. I thought he was great. so so yeah, this is a really good figure, and I highly recommend it. Even if you already have the Defenders of the Earth figure, like, I think this one's just a little bit better because, like I said, he's got, like, to me, what are I consider to be more definitive accessories to fit the character, and he's got the stripy shorts, and you got to have the stripy shorts. So before I leave, I want to give a shout out to the people of Australia and that wonderful country and continent, and shout out to them because apparently over there, like, the Phantom is like really super ridiculously popular. So if I do see like an uptick in viewers and subscribers from Australia, it's gonna be because of this Phantom video. but uh but I love you guys, man. Like, I grew up in the 80s, and for whatever reason Australia was like really popular over here in the 80s. I don't know if it was Mad Max or Crocodile Dundee or Men at Work. You know, but yeah, like, so shout out to the people of Australia. I salute you. If you're Australian and you're watching this video, thanks for watching. If you're from any other country in the world and you're watching this video, thanks for watching, but especially Australia for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and all the other YouTube stuff down below. Tell me what you think about this figure and these NECA superhero figures in general. I've been really impressed with all of them, and like I said, I'm hoping I can get those Defenders of the Earth figures eventually. But like, I've never seen them. I'm hoping they'll get re-released. Maybe when they get if they get re-released, they'll use the hip articulation of these figures, which is much better and improved from how they did it on those Defenders of the Earth figures. Because from what I understand, those have a tendency to stick because of like they use some kind of experimental jointing technology, and it didn't work as well as just the simple ball joints we got on this one. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.